guess what? You need to find a different option, because let me tell you this. One of the big complaints that people have about going carnivore is how expensive it is. How expensive it is to, just only eat steak. How expensive it is to only eat meat, or, some people do eggs or cheese and whatnot. But it gets pricey. It gets pricey because stuff's not cheap. The world's not cheap anymore. That's the way it is. Okay. For whatever reason, we all know why. But you know what? I don't want to get into that. Um, but we have to deal with it. But there's ways to where you can eat really healthy, save money, cut cost, and get around it. One of the ways to do that is to buy in bulk. What does that mean? I in one of my last videos, I was explaining to you guys that we have whole beefs and half beefs for sale, and that means that you can get the whole cat or the whole steer or half a steer. Now, I had a lot of people, I'm familiar with the terminology. A lot of people aren't familiar with the terminology. What does that mean? No, you're not going to buy a live steer from me. That's not going to happen. A lot of people were saying, "Hey, do we have to buy the steer and take it somewhere to get processed, whatever?" No. The way the process works, you'd get a steer. Okay, you say, okay, I want half or a whole, and you put down a deposit. I take it to the processor. The processor will process it. You finish off paying on the website, and then you pay the processor the processing fee. And if it's a whole beef, you're going to average about 400 pounds. 400 pounds of beef. If it's a half beef, you're going to average somewhere right around 200 pounds. These steers a little bit heavier, so you might get more. But the way that I'm selling them, let me show you guys this. Way that I'm selling them is like this. This is the website. Just something I threw together real quick. This is what a whole beef is. Okay. It runs $3,200 plus processing. Processing is $1.10 a pound. Okay. Now you might say, "Oh my gosh, Ryan, that's so expensive." You know how long a whole beef will last you? For most families, it'll last them a year. I probably won't eat. I only eat meat like 95% of the time. I'm not going to go through a whole steer in a year. And $3,200 plus processing. When you take into account, you're going to get probably a little over 400 pounds of beef. Comes out to be about $8 a pound. $8 a pound to get grass-fed, grass-finished, longhorn beef, which you can't find. If you try and find this in the grocery store, if you try and find this at the farmer's market, guess what? It's going to run you, if you get the best deal, $10, $12, $13 a pound for ground beef. That's the way, that's what it costs. You can go save yourself at minimum 30%. Go try and find grass-fed, grass-finished ribeye. Everybody's favorite. You're looking at $30 a pound. You can go get a grass-fed, grass-finished ribeye right out of your freezer for $8 a pound. That's the way it works, or an average of 8. Like I said, they're probably going to be a little bit heavier because they're a little bit older than I wanted them to be. But you know what? It works out good for you, because I'm not charging by the pound. I'm just going to charge by the steer. That way it makes it easier. It's easier to do online. If it's in person, then, okay, you could go by the pound, but this just makes it easier for everybody, and you guys get a better deal. And you might say, "Oh, what if I don't have that?" This is where this kind of cool option with Shopify that where I'm running this off of, you can actually do monthly payments. $280 a month for your beef for the year. That's what you're probably paying more. You're going to be paying a lot more than that in the grocery store. You might be saying, "Hey, Ryan, it's there's an interest rate to it. It's 15% interest rate, whatever." Okay. Guess what? You pay the 15% interest rate, you're still saving. You're making a huge savings, probably hundreds of dollars with doing it that way. Now, do I advocate for people, getting, taking out loans and stuff? No, but it's just an option for you guys. Now, what if you don't need the whole steer? Okay, you can go and get, let's see, half of one. Half a steer run. You're not going to get as good of a deal because there's some more logistics involved with that. But runs you, was it $1,700? You're going to still be right around the $800 or $8 a pound mark. You're not having to pay. You know, what is a New York strip run in the grocery store right now? $12 a pound. That's not grass fed. That's just regular conventional beef. You want the best of the best at the best price. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Now, what do you need? You need a freezer. You can go on Facebook Marketplace, go get a freezer for $100 to $125. You can find a good one out there that'll work. What size do you need? You probably need at least you can go 5 to 8 cubic feet, minimum 5 cubic feet for a whole steer. For a little bit smaller for a half, you'd be amazed on how much beef you can actually fit into a freezer and how compact it gets. I have my refrigerator in my kitchen. It's got the fridge on top and it's got the pull out drawer for the bottom. I actually have two pigs that fit in there. So I think I took some of the sausage and put it in the bratwurst, and I put it in the fridge because that's more shelf stable, and I ate that first. So I fit two pigs in just a pull out thing. So hey, you can save yourself a lot of money. You can save yourself a lot of headache. Who wants to go to the grocery store every couple of days? You don't want to do that. All you have to do, pull it out, defrost it, and you're getting a much, 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 much higher quality beef, because grass fed, grass finished, never had any corn, never had any soybeans, never had any of that nonsense, all that junk. This is 100% grass from the day that they step on this farm. The steers that we bought, they got here over 2 years ago. The steers that the calves that we're raising here that are going to become beef, from the day that they're born, they've drank their mama's milk, got the colostrum, had mineral, salt, and grass, hay in the wintertime, which is just grass, for those of you guys don't know, because that's a big question actually. Now, can we ship? A lot of people, I got a lot of questions on that. No. If you're, what we can do is we can set up a delivery. If you're within 4 to 5 hours of where I'm at, it's a little town called Winsboro. It's East Texas. So it's a big kind of circle to where 4 or 5 hours will be basically Austin to Oklahoma City to, well, even Tulsa, kind of in that kind of circle area, if you know geography decently well, all the way over to Little Rock to like Abilene, that big circle. So if you're in Dallas, if you're in Fort Worth, you're in Waco, Tyler, Longview, anywhere around me, anywhere around East Texas, Shreveport, Alexandria, all that, guess what? We can set up a delivery to where we can bring the beef to you, which pretty cool. And so that's a pretty big market. If you're outside that range, you know what? Go find a local farmer. Go find a local farmer that you can get the beef from, because it makes a big difference when you're getting it right straight from the farm, and it does help the farms a lot, because shoot, man, it's not easy to do this. It gets expensive really, really, really quickly. The saying is, you got to start with 2 million. Don't necessarily agree with that, but it kind of feels like it sometimes. So go get it from a local farmer. Stop shopping at the grocery store if you can.